Now how do I know that I got you?
Marketing is good. Just look at the screen. Don't trip over the rock. Don't stay right there. You're going to fall. It's going to be like Blair Witch.
Okay, well I want to make sure I get you.
No, not like that. Like that. It's fine.
All right.
You'll be able to get me. You can't see?
Is it working?
Yeah. Did you press something again?
No, I didn't press anything.
Let's see. You see me moving?
Yes.
I'll take it.
Okay.
We could edit some parts.
Does that mean it's on?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're recording you?
Yes.
Oh,
So,
hi.
Hi, everyone. Happy winter, almost spring. It's a beautiful day in Stamford, Connecticut. And I thought it'd be a perfect weekend to tap my trees for maple syrup. So
How do you determine whether it's a good weekend or a bad weekend?
So typically what you do is usually around the middle of February, the temperatures start getting above freezing during the day. So that is perfect conditions for the trees to start sapping. During the day, above freezing, at night, below freezing. Obviously, you have to check your weather, depending on where you live. It could start earlier or later than February, but check your local forecast. But we have perfect weather the last week, so this is the time to do it. Maple syrup is super expensive. We all know that. There's a reason for that. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but honestly, you can do it yourself in your backyard. And the supplies it takes really don't cost much. All you need is a drill. You can go to Home Depot and get a bucket. This cost me $2.50. You definitely would like to have a lid to cover the liquid. And then of course you need your spile and your tube. The spiles and the tubes are cheap too. You can get them on Amazon. For the price that it costs for a maple syrup jar, you literally can get all of these things to get you started. Oh, and you should have a hammer. I'm using a meat tenderizer because I don't know where my hammer is, but it'll do the same thing. Anyway, so what you want to do is, A, make sure you have maple trees in your backyard. I would check them in the fall. Obviously, you'll know the leaves. I happen to be fortunate enough to have only maple trees. So I have picked one here that meets the minimum requirements, which is 12 inches wide. So with 12 inches wide, you can do one spile. If you have a wider tree, for every 5 inches above the 12 inches, you can add another spile. So typically, you can tap, if you have a 2-foot wide tree, you can have 2 taps in that tree. But today, we're going to tap this one. It's not much bigger than 12 inches, so we're just going to do one tap. Definitely need a 5/16 inch drill bit. On Amazon, they sell 2 types of spiles, 5/16 and 7/16. So it's really up to you what you want to do. I choose to do the 5/16. So what you want to do is pick the tree, and you want to pick the angle where during the day the sun is hitting it the most. I'm fortunate here because my tree is starting to sap already, so it was easy for me to identify that this tree is just loaded with sap. So what you want to do is you don't want to go too high up the tree, and you don't want to go too low up the tree.
Too low down.
So I usually pick right about here. I usually try to see, where my bucket's going to sit. When I close the lid, how far up can I go? So it's going to be just about there. As you can see, the sun's kind of hitting it. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's getting full sun pretty much all day. And then the other trick here is you don't want to go into this straight across. You don't want to go into this angle down when you drill. You want to kind of drill at a 45-degree angle. So that makes the sap just come out much easier. You also probably, if you haven't done this before, you might want to mark this with some duct tape at 2.5 inches. Because 2.5 inches gets you to the artery that's going to give you that sap. So, and you don't want to go too much further either, because then, it's going to be too much sap. So we're going to get started drilling the hole. It's not easy, but you'll get the hang of it. Of course, I hope you have a better drill than I do. But you'll see it starts getting these trees are just starting to get warmed up from a cold winter, so the wood is quite hard.
Alright, how deep do you go?
What happened?
How deep do you go into
About
the tree?
2.5 inches.
Okay.
Your first time doing it, mark it with a piece of tape. And you just want to check it. I don't think I got deep enough yet, but it won't take you very long once you do to start seeing it flow out of the hole. And it actually is already starting to sap. And I know I'm not even 2.5 inches yet. Another thing to keep in mind, if you've done this last year for the first time, don't try to re-drill the same hole. It actually hurts the tree. So just be careful of that. Pick a hole that's a little further up, a little further down. But as you can see here, I have not gone very, very deep, and it's literally just dripping out. So I'm just going to drip a little bit further. I'm going to drill a little bit further, and then we should be ready to put the spile in. So now, what you want to do is see if you have the correct size spile, which this one I bought on Amazon. It's 5/16. Your drill bit should fit. It should make a perfect fit. And then all you do is stick it in. Again, I didn't go a whole 2.5, but that's why you have your hammer or meat tenderizer or whatever you have. You don't want to jam this thing in here. You want to be kind of gentle. And you definitely don't want your spile going all the way in. If you buy these, you'll see there's lines in there. It'll kind of guide you as to how deep you want to go. So there you go. That's about where we're going to start. And again, you have your lid from Home Depot. You drill a hole in there that fits your tube, and before you know it, you will start getting sap. In the meantime, we can check another tree that I tapped yesterday, which is, you can go this way. Another reason why it's really important to have the lid on top of your bucket is obviously you don't want excess debris. Number two, as you get more into March, you actually could have ants that would start coming into your sap water. So you definitely don't, you want to make sure you have a lid. There are other options. You can get little blue bags that could be connected right to the spile itself, so you don't even need the tube, but that's up to you. You know, check on Amazon, whatever you can afford. You know, it's your choice. But I tapped this tree yesterday, and I just want to check it and see how it's doing. So if you want to come closer here, what's very interesting about sap, obviously it does not come out like what you see in the store. It actually comes out of the tree looking like water. And that's really what it is. It's sugar water. So this tree is doing okay. But as you can see, as we're talking, It's dripping right out of the tree. So that's it for now. I'm going to have another video that's going to show you what you do with your sap once you have a full bucket. But I'll see you next time and tell you about that. Bye.